If you had to choose a country that always arouses curiosity and wonder about life there, which country would you choose? Oh, I heard somewhere that you answered North Korea, and coincidentally, the topic of today's video is photos of strange and mysterious things in North Korea. Photos that were taken with great difficulty and then had to be hidden to bring out of North Korea to help the world have a more multi-dimensional view of the most mysterious country in the world. Top 10. Mysteries will not keep you waiting any longer. Let's watch the video. 9 photos that are forbidden from leaving out that North Korea doesn't want the world to see. The man picks up grass. You may know that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is an economically poor country. When living here, it is not difficult for you to see images of people living in poverty, deprivation, hunger, looking no different from Vietnam in the past. For example, this man sitting with his hips up, picking grass with his bare hands. At first glance, you might mistake him for weeding cows or even planting grass. Seeing is believing, but seeing is not necessarily true, my friends. According to the information I have found, in fact, this man is not playing the role of a gardener, but he is using grass to feed himself. It sounds like a joke, but in fact, images like this have been widely spread in the West with the title, "North Korean people have to eat grass in the park." And surely the tour guide will be very angry if you take a picture of this scene. So you should feel lucky to have 3 full meals a day like that. In fact, everywhere there are people who are hungry, people who are full, people who can't finish eating, and people who can't eat at all. However, in a report to the United Nations General Assembly published in October 2021 before the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 40% of North Koreans were food insecure, many of whom were malnourished. Also in October of that year, in a speech commemorating the 68th anniversary of the signing of the Armistice Agreement in the Korean War, 1950-1953, leader Kim Jong-un admitted that North Korea was facing difficulties similar to wartime. In April, Kim Jong-un described the situation in North Korea as the worst in history, even comparing the hardships the country is experiencing to the famine of the 1990s. It is estimated that the famine in North Korea killed between 240,000 and 3.5 million people, out of a population of about 22 million in the 1990s, peaking in 1997. A North Korean defector recalled that back then, they were only given corn husk powder to eat, which caused constipation, and they were also forced to eat lizards, snakes, rats, and even grass. In 2021, North Korea also had to cut food rations for soldiers for the first time in more than 2 decades. And they don't use the word famine there, my friends. The use of words like famine and hunger and thirst is banned because they imply government failure. Instead, the term arduous march, or suffering march, became a metaphor for famine after a state propaganda campaign in 1993. This is evidence to show that North Korea's recent lack of food is real and not a fabrication, but not to the point of fainting from hunger. Bathroom. Food is not the only thing that the poor people in this mysterious country lack. Besides that, infrastructure is still a big problem for them. This image was taken during a visit to a rural house by a tourist visa. The images of houses that the government has turned on public mode to the world are all carefully selected houses and households. However, occasionally, scenes such as a bathtub used as a water tank, or a pump that even my family's 3rd-generation pump has to call great-grandfather because it is so outdated, are proof of how difficult it is for the people here. Two little girls pretend to use a computer even though the power is out. Power outages are common in North Korea, but whoever says there are power outages will be angry. It must be said that it is due to the US embargo. When you visit households, the tour guide will be very excited and happy if you take pictures and tell the world that all children here have computers. It sounds really cool, but this picture reflects the unpleasant truth in North Korea. Although they are not actors, the two girls in the picture still try to show that they are busy with the supercomputer. Super here means super heavy, super bulky with a black screen because there is no electricity. Perhaps they realized the presence of the camera, so they had to continue playing this role, otherwise the world's friends will judge them. But if the picture reflects the situation of no electricity here like this, it will be asked to be deleted. Luckily, there is still one for you to see. Old radio. If we talk about old, outdated, and backward, the computer is not the only candidate because there is another item that is also considered an antique in quotation marks. In the language of today's youth, it is a Qing dynasty radio that is still used by North Korean people today. The internet is strictly controlled. Even radio channels are limited by the government. In North Korea, TVs and radios are tuned to only broadcast local programs. If people listen to or watch foreign stations, they can be arrested if the police suddenly check. There are also some people who have a second TV or radio ready to listen to foreign stations, but hide it, only giving the main device to the authorities to check. At this point, listening to the radio is more boring than entertaining. But we should also sympathize with the people here, because the government wants people to limit their access to international information, so advanced technological developments cannot reach this country. Next, we invite you to the most mysterious transportation system in the world. Underground station. Although it is closed to the world in some aspects, North Korea is very cautious about war. Specifically, the subway station here is not only a subway station to help people move, but it also functions as a nuclear shelter in case of war. The Pyongyang subway system is 110 meters underground. The deepest point is 200 meters, the deepest subway system in the world, twice as deep as a nuclear bomb shelter. You don't need to be an architect to know that there must be a picture of leader Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's grandfather and father. Pyongyang claims that the trains are made in North Korea. However, some traces of old graffiti can still be seen on the carriages because North Korea bought old carriages from Germany in 1999. The train doors are operated by human power, that is, operated by hand, my friends. The subway stations in Pyongyang are not named after their geographical locations, but rather are named after the revolution, such as Comrade Station, Red Star Station, Victory Station, and Glory Station. It's sad, but also funny that a country that cannot provide the most basic facilities for its people to have a better quality of life spends so much resources to build this bomb shelter system. Those are the opinions of netizens when this image was spread, not me. Broom leaning against the pedestal of Kim Il-sung statue. This is something that should never happen, but someone took this photo at Mansudae, Pyongyang, and made it public to the international media. The two monuments here are considered national treasures, and no one is allowed to take photos of the statues because it is an extremely serious crime. Littering in the monument area is the same. Even God cannot save a serious crime like this. But this photo was leaked and caused a stir among the people of North Korea, not knowing who had the guts to put the broom on the pedestal of the statue of Kim Il-sung. Surely the author of this work has a goldfish brain, so when cleaning up, he forgot to put the broom back in its original position. And of course, we can imagine an unpleasant ending for this criminal. Hard labor soldiers. The North Korean military is arguably one of the most important in the world. If you come here, you will often see soldiers doing normal jobs like real farmers. And that is an understatement if we do not want to say that they are being brutally exploited, plus their food is cut. The life of soldiers in North Korea has never been easy. Joining the army is compulsory, and that also means they have to do hard labor. If they do not comply, trouble will surely come sooner. Their fatigue and endurance are clearly shown in this photo of a very tired-looking soldier lying on the grass to sleep while on duty. and maybe he will be put to sleep for life by the officials just because of this action. A female North Korean soldier who defected said she still remembers the smell of sweat from more than 10 people who rarely bathed, permeating the straw mattresses in the crowded room full of bunk beds in the concrete barracks. They rarely bathed because there was no hot water, which was piped directly from a stream that flowed down from a ravine through a pipe, sometimes catching frogs and snakes through the pipe. The harsh training program combined with the meager food rations left many soldiers physically weak. Some female soldiers even stopped menstruating because of poor nutrition and the stressful environment. Hungry children eat raw corn. North Korean officials are very upset when they see you taking pictures like this, even when you try to use your foreign language skills to explain that poverty is not only here, but also exists in many parts of the world, even in your homeland. They still do not accept it and forbid you from taking pictures of poverty. The unfortunate children here may not be able to go to school. Instead, they will work and receive rewards for that work. For example, these kids, they work and receive some corn, but perhaps because of their long-term hunger, they cannot hold their mouths and eat the corn right after receiving it instead of bringing it home. Even the young buds of the country have to go to the market to sell goods to earn money to live through their homes. Not only do they exploit the labor of adults, but children also have to be tools for the people themselves. This is a serious crime. Children are born to go to school, but many leaked photos show that children here are not as lucky as other countries. And it is ridiculous that this happens in a country that claims to prioritize education. What is Kim Jong-un looking at? A photo was widely circulated on social networks, with the main character being President Kim Jong-un shaking hands with a sexy lady, with the spotlight being his soulful eyes. Behind him was the delighted smile of an official. It is unclear where this sensitive image originated, where it was posted publicly like this. Maybe this is a real photo, but we don't have any more information about it, or maybe the great president of the North Korean people is being played dirty, photoshopped to defame his dignity. What do you think? Remember to leave a comment to let the top 10 mysteries know. Poor quality construction. This is not a circus. They are workers working in an environment with extremely low safety standards. Perhaps choosing to stop playing with the rest of the world will cause North Korea to have some problems, such as the architectural works are built with poor materials, rudimentary tools and machinery, not safe enough to ensure the construction is completed solidly. However, they do not care and continue their shabby constructions using human power instead of machinery like us. What is worth mentioning here is that the photos of these poor quality structures come from the capital of North Korea. The workers here also do not have enough basic protective gear. Just a small mistake, and they can be logged out to reincarnate as people from another country. It can be said that life is cruel for the people in some parts of North Korea. Even though they have a difficult life, they still respect their leaders, even when they have nothing to eat. Through today's video, we have a different perspective on this mysterious country, as well as learn a few more truths that North Korea does not want the world to know. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like and sub for Top 10 Mysteries. Now see you in the next videos.